So it says, oops, what if you need to borrow from the whole number? You might. So you're going to take 1 from the whole number, add the denominator to the numerator, and keep the denominator. So I'm not doing any actual subtraction here. I'm just practicing borrowing. I'm going to take from the whole number, change it to a 2. And then my numerator, I'm going to add whatever the denominator is. So the denominator is 4, so I'm going to add 4. So once I've borrowed, I have 2 and 5/4. Same with the 5 3/10. We're going to borrow from the 5, and we're going to add 10 to the 3. So what you end up with is 4 13/10. And then I want you to try this last one on your own. Hopefully you ended up with 13/8 is what you should have had. Okay, now example number 3, we're going to be borrowing because that's what we just learned. So you know that's coming. So our first step is common denominators. I have 4 and 12. Well, I don't even have to list multiples. I know that I can turn 4 into 12. So to go from 4 to 12, I multiply times 3. And I end up with 5 3/12. And the next one, I don't have to change at all. Now, I'm going to write vertically. Is my answer going to be positive or negative? Negative. Are my signs the same or different? Well, 5 3/12 is positive and 5/12 is negative. So my signs are different. I have to subtract. So when I rewrite it, I'm going to write it for subtraction. So 5 3/12 minus 0 and 5/12. So here's where we talk about the borrowing. I'm going to keep my denominator. Can I do 3 minus 5? I can't. So I'm going to change that 5 to a 4. And I'm going to add 12 to the 3 because 12 is my denominator. So I end up with 15/12. Oh, sorry. 15 goes up here, not down here. So now I have 15 minus 5 is 10. 4 minus 0 is 4. So my answer is negative 4 10/12. Last step is to simplify. I can divide 10 and 12 by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I end up with a negative 4 5/6. No worries, we're going to do another one together. First of all, I see it's subtraction, so I'm going to change it right now. Boom, boom. Now I'm going to rewrite it with a common denominator. So 12 and 3, I know 3 can turn into 12, so I'm going to leave negative 7 3/12 the way it is. And I'm going to change this 3 into 12 by multiplying by 4. Now, before I go crazy, is my answer going to be positive or negative? Well, it's addition, so do I have more positives or more negatives? Negative 7 is way more than a positive 0, so my answer should be negative. And my signs, I have a negative and a positive, so I am going to subtract. So when I go to subtract, I'm going to write it vertically. Negative 7 3/12. It's bigger, so it goes on top. I guess I don't need the negative, sorry. 7 and 3/12 minus 0 and 8/12. And here we are, we're going to borrow again. So we're going to borrow from the 7 and add 12 to the 3. So 15 minus 8 is 7, 12 stays the same, and 6 minus 0 is 6. Can I simplify 6/12 or 7/12? No. So my answer is negative 6 and 7/12. I want you to try the next two. If you're having trouble, I can come help you, but go ahead and try the next two, put the answers in a Schoology quiz, and we'll move on from there.